to the B interviews. This interview is brought to you by the B Broadcasting Commission and is sponsored by the York Castle Student Council Association. I am your host, Gianna Holness, and I will be conducting today's interview. Here with me tonight is Mr. Corey Gordon, a candidate vying for the position of treasurer. Welcome, Corey. How are we tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good too, thank you. I believe this is an exciting opportunity for the school populace to get to know you better, Corey. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Great, fantastic. We'll get right into it. Let's jump right into it. So tell me, Corey, what would you say are your most commendable and admirable attributes?
Well, can you repeat the question? Commendable and admirable
Commendable,
attributes?
commendable, and admirable attributes.
Well, I'm a very humble person and I'm a very shy person. Um, when it is asked of me to be bold and shine and be outspoken, I will. But I'm a very humble and shy person. I think that's a very good attribute because sometimes it's good to sit back and just to observe and see what really is happening.
I agree. I agree. What do you think are the essential functions of a treasurer?
Well, I think a treasurer should be good at record keeping. They should have good analytical skills. They should be good at money. That's the first thing that comes to mind when someone says treasurer. They should be good with money. They should be a good saver. They should be a good spender. So yes, I think those are some good things.
That's great. I agree with you. Do you think, Mr. Gordon, you have the qualities to carry out these functions effectively?
Yes, I do think so because I have past experiences with leadership. I was the former head boy at Frankfurt High School. Even though I wasn't treasurer, I am used to leading and being out there and interacting with people. Um, helping to plan events, fundraisers, and projects. So I think I am the right man for the job.
That's good to hear. So tell me, Mr. Corey, would you say that being mathematically inclined is advantageous to being a treasurer?
Well, of course, seeing that you're dealing with numbers, money, and all, of course, it's mathematics is a key thing that one should possess and have and should be well aware about when being a treasurer. And I think I have those because I passed mathematics at grade 10 and then I advanced at additional mathematics, which I also got a grade 1 in. So yes, I think those are good things
That is definitely advantageous.
I do have those, so yeah.
Yes, that is very much advantageous to you as a treasurer. At this moment, Gordon, what do you think sets you apart from your opponents in this race?
Well, as I stated before, I'm really good at mathematics. At an very early age, I would say people would call me the maths whiz in class. I was always the one to help out others, like with math problems, algebra, trigonometry, and all the topics that one might find challenging. So yes, that's an advantage. And as I said to you guys before, I'm experienced with leadership. So I think that would give me a little boost or a push beyond others who, haven't been involved.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Would your peers describe you as being secretive or protective in any way?
I wouldn't say secretive, or it depends on the context in which you're saying
general,
that.
Would they consider Corey Gordon to be somebody they could trust with their money?
Yes.
Right.
Of course. But I wouldn't say secretive.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Corey, tell us, right before we go on a break, what do you think makes a better treasurer, the best treasurer? What do you think what do you think contributes to the best treasurer there can be for any association?
The best treasurer. I think the best treasurer would be someone who works assiduously in not only contributing to the institution they're playing a role for, they should not only work hard to make a better school for themselves, but they should also work hard for other people. I think the best leader is someone who doesn't lead in a way where they expect something in return, but they do it as something that they're contributing. They're being benevolent. So yeah, I think.
Thank you. I agree with you. Before we go, Corey, I'm sure you've seen the polls that have been published by the Student Council Association. What are your thoughts on the polls currently published?
Well, I think as a newcomer, it's really good for me seeing that I am up to par with the other persons running for the position. I think it's really good. And we have also created a WhatsApp group where we're getting to know each other. So I do have not a close, but I do know them and they're very good individuals. And even if I lose, even if I don't become successful in this race, I would feel anyway knowing that they got the position because they're really amazing people.
That's commendable, Corey. At this time, we'll have a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. And we're back with Mr. Corey Gordon, a candidate vying for the position of treasurer. Before we went on a break, Corey told us about some of the attributes that he had that made him ideal for the position of treasurer. He also talked about ways in which he has an edge over his opponents. And before we left, we started talking about the current status, the polls, and his opinions on that. And I'll just ask you, Corey, just a bit more about what you think about the polls. Do you think the polls, the projections currently, will reflect on election day?
Well, I think for me, with more campaigning, the polls can be greater to my advantage. But I think it's alright so far. As I said before, I'm a newcomer, so I didn't expect that much support. So I'm really grateful for it. Thanks to all my supporters.
That's good. Corey, what would you say, even though you as you said, your campaign could use it could use some it could use a boost, it could be better. But what would you say sets your campaign and your campaign team apart from other campaigns? What makes your campaign special?
Well, apart from the really put together posters and the slogans, I think I have a team where They don't only tell me yes, I'm doing good and only tell me the positive, but they also critique me and tell me say, Corey, this is where you're going wrong and you should fix up on that or brush up on that. So I think I have a really good team that wants to see the best for me and wants to see me as their treasurer for SFA.
That's good. Right now, we're going to take one more break, and when we come back, Corey will give us an appeal, and this appeal will address all the supporters he currently has and any voters that are still undecided. We'll be right back. To the B interviews sponsored by the York Castle High Student Council Association. At this time, I'll now hand over to Mr. Corey Gordon, where he will make his final appeal to all the viewers, telling us exactly why we should vote for him to be the next Sixth Form Association treasurer. Corey?
Vote for me to be your next sixth form treasurer because I will work assiduously to ensure that all my roles and duties will be carried out at the best of my ability, where I'll not only vie and work hard for a better school for me, but also for fellow Yorkists. Vote Corey Garden for treasurer. Vote for the future for your school. Vote for the future of York Castle. Vote Corey.
Okay. This has been B Interviews, sponsored by the York Castle High School Student Council Association. Thank you for watching.